Welcome back. Now with your 5-day weather forecast, here's Jesse Baines.
We still have a ways to go before we can put our winter coats away. It will get a little warmer over the weekend, but not a whole lot. We'll see increasing cloudiness and flurries tonight with a low of -4. Friday will be mainly cloudy with a 30% chance of flurries and a high of +4. It should warm up for the weekend with a high of +4 on Saturday and Sunday, but more flurries expected on Monday with a low of -1. And that's your 5-day weather forecast. Now back to the newsroom.
Thanks, Jesse. Obama visited Ramallah today and held a news conference alongside Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. The conference came just hours after rockets from the Palestinian enclave of Gaza hit southern Israel. Obama said he has told Israel leader Benjamin Netanyahu that settlement activity was not appropriate and criticized their treatment of Palestinians living in the West Bank. Abbas said that peace with Israel should not be achieved through violence, occupation settlements, arrests, or denial of refugee rights.
India's parliament has passed a new law to protect women against sexual violence. The law was a response to a brutal gang rape in New Delhi last December, which left a 23-year-old woman dead. The law criminalizes stalking, voyeurism, and sexual harassment. It also allows for a death penalty for repeat offenders or for rape attacks that lead to the victim's death. The law also has provision which makes it mandatory for all hospitals to provide medical treatment to rape victims. Failure to do so could have those in charge of hospitals face up to 1 year of imprisonment and a fine.
2 helicopters hit each other and crashed during a snowstorm near Berlin's Olympic Stadium earlier today. One pilot died at the scene and several others were injured during a federal police exercise. It wasn't immediately clear whether the injured were in the helicopters. Police were conducting a training exercise about dealing with football violence.
Canada has cut direct foreign aid to China as part of an attempt to reduce international assistance spending. China is one of 14 countries that will see their aid either reduced or eliminated by the end of next year. The cuts are part of an overhaul of assistance programming. The Canadian International Development Agency is planning on slashing $377 million in aid and spending by 2014-2015. Other countries being affected by the cuts include Cambodia, Rwanda, and Zimbabwe. Critics have questioned aid to China given its strong economy. Others say the help went to poor rural areas.
Ottawa lawyer David Birchie has announced he is dropping out of the Liberal leadership race. Birchie told reporters in a news conference on Parliament Hill this morning that he remains undaunted in his quest to rebuild the Liberal Party. His departure leaves 6 candidates in the race.
Former Alberta Premier Ralph Klein's battle with illness has taken a turn for the worse. Klein is at home in Calgary battling a form of dementia and a lung disorder. Klein was the Progressive Conservative Premier from 1992 to 2006 and was the mayor of Calgary before that. Alberta became debt-free under Klein by paying off a $23 billion debt.
And now with your sports news, here's Mark Mullen.
Hi folks, well, Humber Hawks indoor soccer teams are in action today. Both the men and women are playing in the OCAA championships going on in Vaughan. Both Hawks teams are 2-time OCAA defending champs and went undefeated in regionals. The teams will play a round robin today with the top 2 of each pool advancing to tomorrow's semifinals, followed by bronze and gold medal matches. In NHL action, the Leafs are in Buffalo tonight to battle Ryan Miller and the Sabres. The Leafs are coming off a 4-2 win over Tampa Bay last night. Youngster Jake Gardiner got the call up from the Marlies and had just over 19 minutes of ice time in the game. Gardiner has been playing in the AHL since being sidelined with a concussion back in December. He had this to say about his performance.
Yeah, it's definitely making better decisions and using my skating more. So just playing to my abilities and doing both those things better and just the little things too.
Other games on the docket tonight. The Habs are coming off a shootout loss to Buffalo and continue their road trip. They're in New York to play John Tavares and the Islanders. The 5th-place Sens have won their last 3 and host the 4th-place Bruins at the Scotiabank Place. Ovi and the struggling Capitals fly north to battle the Jets, and Shane Doan and the Coyotes will host the Vancouver Canucks. Hope you guys have your brackets filled out because the second round of NCAA men's basketball games start today. Let the madness begin. In the East, 3rd-seeded Marquette hosts the Davidson Wildcats. Canadian Kelly Olynyk and the Bulldogs host the Jaguars in the West. North Carolina A&T are in Kentucky to battle the 1st-seeded Louisville Cardinals. And South Dakota State is in Michigan to hoop it up with the Wolverines. Spring training continues down in Dunedin, and the Jays take to the field today. They play the Tampa Bay Rays. The Jays are coming off a 6-5 loss yesterday to the Orioles. The Jays met Tampa back on March 1st and won 5-4. And Jays pitcher Ricky Romero is pitching down in a minor league game for the team's affiliate. And in PGA news, the first round of the Arnold Palmer Invitational starts today at Bay Hill in Orlando. Tiger Woods is the defending champ and currently tied for 8th on the tour. That's it for sports. Now back to the newsroom.
Thanks, Mark. A Northwest Territories man was surprised this week when he discovered he had spent the last 3 years with a 7.5-centimeter knife blade in his upper back. Despite being checked by numerous doctors because of back pain over the years, 32-year-old Billy McNeely says he was told the cause of his pain was due to nerve damage. McNeely says he was stabbed 5 times in 2012 after a fight broke out between himself and another man over an arm wrestling contest. He's had an itchy lump on his back ever since. He says he was scratching his back this week when the tip of his nail discovered the blade. I just can't believe he went that long without, how did doctors not realize that there was a knife in the back?
3 years is a really long time.
It is, I know.
And that's all for Humber News today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marco DeMeo.
And I'm Samantha Martin. Humber News is written and produced by journalism students at the North Campus. You can also catch us on YouTube. We'll see you next time.